So it's super early. I've got to be really quiet because Katie's still in bed because it's like 5 o'clock. I've made myself some coffee. I'm gonna go out, shoot some footage. When I get back though, I've got some stuff that I want to talk to you about. HDR, new lens, good stuff. Let's go. So a little while ago, I managed to lose my kind of like walking around wide angle lens that I used to use for like that kind of, you know, handheld filming of myself. I've just finally got around to buying another one. So yeah, the last one, well I actually broke it. I just dropped my camera with it on. The camera was okay, but the lens just was destroyed. So I just got this. It's the Canon EFS 10-18. I didn't really realise this, but Canon like segregate their market into the full frame and the... I mean, all the camera companies do it, but they split it in a way that I don't think you can actually fit this onto some of the full frame cameras, which is a bit of a bummer. But it will adapt onto my Sony, and yeah, I just needed a wide angle lens for that. At the moment I'm shooting on the A7R Mark I, which is terrible for video. So let's switch to this one and see what the difference is. So the setup I was filming this on before is such a great photography setup. It's this guy, Sony A7R, which has a fantastic... Yeah, but what you've done there, Sean, is you may have improved the quality, but the setup's still shit. So what I've done is I've spun you around, so we've got the good light, and I brought you in a little bit closer, a little bit more intimate. What was I talking about? Oh, this camera, great camera great camera for photography, not particularly great for video. Well, pretty terrible for video actually. But why did I get a Canon lens if I'm going to be shooting on a Sony for my YouTube videos? Well, predominantly I needed something that was going to work with this camera, which is the one that I use for work mostly. That camera's Canon. You can't adapt the Sony onto the Canon, you can adapt the Canon onto the Sony. It does mean that the focus is shitty on the Sony, but the quality of the lens is great for sort of sub £200. So I'm sticking with it, or at least for the moment. That's beside the point. Sorry, I've gone off on a tangent. I just wanted to open up this new lens and get using it. What I really want to talk about is Aurora HD, specifically Aurora HD 2009, because the guys over at Skylum have been kind enough to send me a review copy. So I've been having a little bit of a play about with that. And you may be wondering what it actually is. Well, HDR is something that you can do by splicing together a couple of different exposures of what is essentially the same image. So you need to like lock your camera down to a tripod, take a shot that's underexposed, one that's correctly exposed, one that's overexposed. You can do 2, you can do 9, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to get more dynamic range captured, and then in something like Lightroom or Photoshop you can go in and hit the little button that's like merge to HDR. That'll really automate that process and it'll spit you back out something with more data than the original. Even with something like the Sony A7R, which has a great sensor which captures a huge amount of dynamic range, you're gonna struggle. So I shoot, and I'm just mentioning it for video, but I do also take pictures of interior architecture. Lost my train of thought. With interior architecture, you're constantly battling the darkness that is a room. Even a well-lit room like this, which looks quite nice on camera, is nowhere near as bright as the outside world, and that creates a problem because you want a good exposure on the room, mainly, but you also don't really want to just blow out all the windows. So the best way around this is to go and pick a time when the sun's just going down enough, beautiful light outside, just brings that exposure to the same as it is on the inside, light the inside a little bit, add some sort of practical lights as you'd kind of call it in film, but just lights that are really on in the room. Don't go just sending one big flash into the room, anything like that. If you match them in camera, that's great, the best way to do it, but so often you won't be able to do that. You'll be working for a client, or you'll be going into a person's home. You know, I often work with building companies and they ask me to get in touch with the person they've done the building work for. That person doesn't want me, you know, that they want to choose when I come round. So you can't always go at twilight, you know, beautiful like golden hour, lovely light outside where it's matched, beautiful. So HDR is a way around that. You take these multiple exposures, you get something like Lightroom, it throws them together, spits something out, and then you can kind of have a bit of a play about with it. But there's things out there like Aurora, which is a standalone package. So much more development's gone into that. You can also tie it into Lightroom as a plugin. It will handle that same process, but it will handle it with so much more grace. They've got these controls in there that just don't exist in the Lightroom version or the Photoshop version. So you can target adjustments, you can really dial in the look you're going for, so you don't end up with that ugly HDR effect that, you know, the one I'm talking about, the oversaturated, over sharpened, just looks terrible. My images never look like that. Purposefully, I don't like that look. I don't think it sells well. It's definitely getting to a point where it's out of date. I'm glad it's dead. Well, it's not dead, but it's, you know, it's on its way out. Something like Aurora is going to let you just make the most natural image possible. So as I said, they sent me a review copy. Obviously I didn't offend them too much by not liking Luminaire. I mean, I did like Luminaire, it doesn't fit into my workflow. On a tangent, I'll get into this another time, but they do have a digital asset management software coming out, which is going to be built together with Luminaire. That's interesting, that's exciting. I'm on board for that. They've said they're going to send me a copy of that when it's out. I'm going to really want to review that and tell you guys about it, because it could be something that means that you don't have to pay Adobe a subscription to have something that's like Lightroom, and you don't have to, you know, wade in the mud of Apple's photo app, which is okay, but it's definitely got better, but it's not, you don't want to use that professionally. So yes, as I said, they sent me this software to review. What I'm going to say first though is, as much as I recommend this product, I don't think that you should just go out and buy it willy-nilly. Only get it if you've been using HDR plugins, or the HDR that comes with Lightroom or Photoshop or whatever, you know, whatever free versions are out there that you've been using. Build yourself up to this, because it is a little bit of money. Yes, it is a game changer compared to the Lightroom versions, but if you've never used anything before like this, it might be a bit overwhelming. Get to know what you're doing first, and then go out and get these tools that are going to make it just so much better. I think that's everything from me today. I just wanted to talk about this. I wanted to put this lens on, try it out, and hopefully this video gets edited, because I've shot it twice already and not done it twice, probably three times. Right, I'm going to shut up now. You guys go enjoy your lives. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I'll see you next time. It's at this point that I wish I hadn't left my GoPro behind, GorillaPod behind in the Isle of Man, because this grip isn't comfortable. I'm trying to be responsible today, so I saw about this free beer thing a couple of hours ago, but had emails to do, and now there's too big a queue, so I can't really be bothered. So you're just going to buy beer instead. Oh no, we've still got that Three Rivers gin. I need to do a video on that still. Still got that Three Rivers gin, so we get some tonic. Let's get some tonic. Tonight we had every intention of having a healthy tea, but that has been scuppered by the Chinese supermarket, and not accepting card payments. So chippy tea.